Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi everyone. This is video number 6 for chapter 6. So now let's we have a look on the first part, okay, for the manual retrieval. Okay, when we talk about manual retrieval just now is whereby you want to find and take out the records, okay, by your hand from the storage area. So here there is a manual charge out and follow up of the records. Okay, when we talk about manual charge out is the process at which how you are going to do for the charging out ataupun take out of the records in the storage area, and how you are going to do a follow up for that borrow record. So here this is referring to the procedures for borrowing paper. So the procedures for borrowing papers are involving in 5 steps. Okay, number 1 is whereby when the people or the staff or the workers in the company want to use the records, if this is a manual records, okay, then it first to request the records and the folder. Okay, after they have do requisitions or request for the records, then the staff in the record or we call in the file room can do the charging out of the cards and also folder. Okay, and after they have been charging out, okay, for that particular card folders to the respective user who want to borrow that record. Okay, so then they want, after they have borrow the record, use the record, and then they will return back to the file room. Okay, so how the staff are going to do about the returning of the record. Returning of the records, then the staff will do the cancelling of the charge out for the return record. So they will cancel the charge out. Charge out ni sebenarnya dia adalah satu tanda kita letak. Okay, contohnya file ni dia bawa keluar sebab ada orang pinjam. So dia kena letak satu kad ataupun satu petanda, tanda indikator menyatakan ada file tersebut telah dibawa keluar. So dia kena cancel the charge out. Maksudnya dia kena just now orang nak pinjam record, dia bawa keluar record and then dia letak kad tersebut sebagai contoh kad. Okay, dan bila orang dah pulangkan balik record, so apa yang dia perlu lakukan, charge out yang dia letak dekat tempat sementara tadi, dia akan bawa keluar dan dia akan masukkan record yang asal. Alright, and the next one is whereby if there is a situations that the borrow record is not returning back, or we want to ensure the borrow record is returning in the right time. Maksudnya kita nak elakkan daripada orang hantar lambat, pulangkan record lambat. So kita kena buat follow up on the borrow record. Ataupun sometimes, okay, they need to do a follow up because the borrower, peminjam, tidak pulangkan balik record. And lastly, there is a procedures for reserving the record. In the certain situations is whereby there will be the other user who would like to borrow the record. So when the user want to use the record but the record are not available in the file room, so what they can do is that they will fill up the reservation form. Okay, so that after the records been returning back to the file room, then okay, the person who reserved the record will be called, okay, to get the file itself or the record itself. Alright, so we have a look on the request record and folder. So requesting the record and folder can be happen in several ways. But when we talk about requesting the records, definitely there will be the forms that they need to fill up. So the names of the form is actually, we call it as the requisition form. And this requisition form is where you need to write, okay, there is actually a written request for record or the information from the record. Okay, the keyword here is actually requisition form. Request ni adalah written request. Okay, dia adalah permintaan bertulis. You cannot that yes, in a certain situations you can do by a call, phone call. Okay, but those people who receive that phone call for the request of the record need to fill up the form for the representative. Okay, is the best is actually for those who want to borrow the record, they come and fill up the requisition form. Okay, here some people might borrow the records. Records means that the whole records, the whole ataupun satu file. Okay, or they only want to have the information from the record. Information from the record, for an example, is like contohnya di hospital. Okay, patient tu nak claim insurans. So dia akan datang, dia fill up the requisition form, menyatakan dia nak report berkaitan dengan dia punya temujanji berkaitan contohnya accident, okay, on sekian-sekian bulan. So dia hanya nak perlukan maklumat, sebahagian maklumat dalam record tersebut. Okay, and here, okay, it can be made, just now I told you, it can be made over the telephone call, okay, or in a person, or in writing. So in all this method, okay, we make it varieties because we want to make it easy for the user to borrow the record. So they can call over the phone, but must remember, when you call over the phone, the person or the staff who are in the file room need to fill in the requisition form on the behalf of the borrower. Okay, or the borrower or the user can come to the file room and request for the record, and or it can be in a written form, for example, writing the email, okay, to that particular department who keep the record. Okay, so this is the examples, okay, of the record request or requisition form. Usually, they will require the name of the record, the information about the name of the record, which is record apa yang nak dipinjam, the dates of the borrowed, the dates of written, and some there will be the date on record. Tarikh record decreted, requester name means that the borrower name. Okay, this is the extension number, the department, and also the email. And as you can see here, place white copy in the folder, place blue copy in the tickler folder file. Okay, basically requisition form is actually dia ada beberapa salinan. Okay, satu salinan asal, okay, in the requisition form akan disimpan dalam requisition file. Okay, dia ada lagi dua salinan, dia ada dua salinan, lagi tiga salinan, original, which is in the requisition file. Okay, and then satu salinan lagi, okay, dekat di dalam folder. Okay, folder is actually where you keep the charge out. And number 3 is a tickler file. Tickler file nanti you akan belajar is actually the control file who tickler ataupun ingatkan kita untuk follow up the record. Okay, so here, okay, that is just now I'm talking about the request of the record and the folder. So the second step is on the charging out, the cards, and also the folder. So this I will cover in the next video. So stay tuned with me.